And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review, and today we are reviewing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This game was released in 2013, I believe. It's the fourth installment in the Assassin's Creed series. And it's actually the first Assassin's Creed that I have gotten the chance to play. I played it on the Xbox 360. And as always, thank you to Jeffofthemellows for letting me borrow this game and giving me the chance to play it. Thank you. So, but how did I think about the game? I got a lot of thoughts, so let's jump right into it, shall we? This is a weird game. You jump into it, and then out of nowhere, we jumped in and they were doing some cool stuff with pirates and all this kind of stuff. We were like a big pirate going through the Caribbean. And, it was so cool. And that part I did like going at the tropical pirate type theme, being out in the open ocean and kind of doing all that kind of stuff was a lot of fun. That was cool. And then they throw up the bomb that it's all simulation. What is this? Is this something that I believe this is something that they do in all Assassin's Creed games? Remember, this is my first experience with Assassin's Creed, so I can't verify that. But based off of what I got to see in that part, it does seem like this is a reoccurring thing. It was just insanely wild to when we were going partway through the story, we get the first experience with the simulation thing. I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff? And then you jump right back into the story, kind of knowing what's going on. It's a wild thing. It was very surreal. I was having an existential crisis. It was kind of funny, honestly. It was good. But I mean, that part overall has more of a story-ish part to it as far as combat and stuff goes. I mean, most of the other gameplay aspects are in the actual simulation in the game. And I gotta say, a lot of the other gameplay aspects, I was not a fan. The graphics haven't aged the greatest. It's only 2013, but it is on the 360, so I guess I could see that. But the graphics haven't aged the greatest. So, I mean, it doesn't look terrible, right? It doesn't look like super terrible, pixelated stuff. I've definitely seen worse. But for, what type of game, for a very high quality game that this is a high quality game, haven't aged that great, just saying. And the combat is not fun. I gotta say, the combat is not that fun, especially when you're fighting larger groups. And more one-on-one type combat, it's not terrible. It's mid at best. But then you get into these big groups, and you will get into a lot of big groups pretty early on in the game. Throughout pretty much the entire game, there will be times where you're going to be fighting giant swarms of people. Because you're just this big outlawed rebel pirate, and everybody wants to kill you because you are a pirate, and so then you gotta be fighting all those guys. And the combat just does not work well in situations like that. You're better off running away, trying to run away, which that is another part of the game, and I definitely like that they developed that well. But I don't know, I would always prefer to actually fight through the situation, but they encourage the running away because just unlimited amount of enemies just spawn in and they overwhelm you really quickly. So you mostly run away, and then there's other times where, they won't bring out as many enemies, so you have to fight them. That kind of thing. It still works out fine, but guys, it's annoying because it takes a lot of getting used to. Because your instincts are always saying, fight the situation, because of other games. But not in this game. So, and the movements overall, this is not just necessarily a combat complaint, but just a overall gameplay complaint. The movements are very restrictive. It felt like it just never went as far as I was trying to go, especially with like the movements and stuff like that. There were a lot of times jumps were inaccurate, and fighting was inaccurate, and traversing lands, sometimes you'd be going way too fast or you weren't going fast enough, and hard to sometimes it blends in too well or whatever. So another thing that you just have to adjust to in the game, but not by, it's another thing that you just got to get used to, but it does feel pretty restrictive, especially seeing how open this game is. I wouldn't call it a super open world game, but I would call it a more open-esque game, leaning towards open world, and it just feels very restrictive with that sense in there. So that was a little annoying, but overall, this game is okay. A lot of people call this the best Assassin's Creed game. Sorry, but if this is the best that they're gonna do, I don't know. I don't have any other Assassin's Creed games on the backlog yet. Probably will play another one at some point. They keep coming out, or at least more came out after Black Flag, and there's obviously been ones before that, but we'll have to see. Oh, I'm yawning today. Anyway, my final score for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I'm gonna have to give it I give it a 5. 5 out of 10. Maybe it's just not my type of game, but there's some things that I liked about it, and it's definitely got some cool like twists in it and stuff, and I can definitely see where the appeal is. It's just not for me, I think, at the end of the day. So, but that's going to do it, though, for this review. If you've ever played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's going to do it for this video as well. So stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more game reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.